The café was the kind of place people passed through without remembering. A soft bell chimed when the door opened, the scent of coffee hung permanently in the air, and the windows carried a faint haze from years of breath and rain. It was quiet most afternoons, which suited Lena just fine. Lena preferred silence. Words had always felt heavy in her mouth, often arriving too late or not at all. So she spoke less, listened more, and moved through her shifts with careful precision. Her coworkers called her shy. Customers barely noticed her beyond the polite smile and steady hands that placed cups gently on tables. That Tuesday afternoon, the bell chimed again. A man entered, holding the hand of an older woman. He looked tired in a way that went deeper than lack of sleep, his shoulders slightly hunched as if carrying something invisible but constant. The woman beside him moved slowly, her gaze unfocused yet calm. They took a corner table. Lena approached with her notepad, offering her usual quiet smile. 2 teas, the man said softly. Chamomile, if you have it. Lena nodded. As she turned to leave, she noticed something. The older woman's eyes were not following the conversation. She wasn't responding to the man's voice. Instead, she sat still, her fingers resting lightly on the table, as if waiting for something she could feel rather than hear. Lena paused. A memory surfaced, sharp and unexpected. Her younger brother, years ago, sitting across from her at a kitchen table. His hands moving quickly, his face alive with expression. The only language that ever made sense between them. Lena hesitated, then turned back. She gently placed the man's tea in front of him. Then she set the other cup down in front of the woman, catching her attention with a soft tap on the table. The woman looked up. Lena raised her hands. Slowly, carefully, she signed. Hot. Tea. Be careful. The woman's eyes widened. A moment passed. Then, trembling slightly, the woman lifted her own hands and responded. Thank you. The man froze. What just happened? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Lena looked at him, unsure how to respond. Words felt clumsy now, inadequate compared to what had just passed between her and the woman. She's deaf, the man said, as if explaining something obvious. She hasn't been able to communicate with anyone outside of me in years. He turned to his mother. What did she say? The older woman's face softened. She signed again, slower this time, making sure her son could follow. She told me the tea is hot. The man blinked rapidly, his composure cracking. That's all, he said, almost laughing. But the sound broke halfway through. Lena felt something tighten in her chest. She signed again, this time addressing both of them. If you need anything, I can help. The mother's hands moved quickly now, more confident. Where did you learn? Lena hesitated before answering. My brother. The man watched, his eyes moving between them, trying to keep up. Can you tell her I'm sorry? He asked suddenly. Lena paused, confused. Sorry for what? He swallowed hard. For not learning properly. For always saying I was too busy. For thinking she'd understand anyway. Lena looked at the mother, then gently translated his words into signs. The woman's expression didn't change at first. She simply watched her son. Then, slowly, she reached across the table and took his hand. Her fingers moved. You stayed. That was enough. The man broke. Tears slipped down his face, unguarded and silent. He squeezed her hand tightly, bowing his head as if trying to hold himself together. I thought she felt alone, he said, his voice shaking. After my wife died, everything fell apart. I was trying to raise my daughter, take care of work, take care of her. I thought I was failing both of them. Lena stood quietly, unsure whether to stay or leave. But the mother looked at her again and signed. Stay. So she did. For the next hour, Lena moved between tables and that small corner where something extraordinary had unfolded. Each time she returned, more words were exchanged. Stories. Memories. Regrets that had never been voiced, now finally given shape through hands and expressions. The man asked Lena to teach him simple signs. Just the basics, he said. Please. Lena nodded. She showed him how to say thank you. How to say I love you. How to say I'm here. His movements were clumsy, uncertain. But each attempt carried a sincerity that filled the space between them. The café, once quiet and forgettable, felt different now. Warmer. Fuller. When it was time to leave, the man stood and faced Lena. I don't even know how to thank you, he said. Lena shook her head gently. You already did. The mother stepped forward. She reached out, taking Lena's hands in hers. Her fingers moved one last time. You gave me my son back. Lena felt her throat tighten. She watched as they left, the bell chiming softly behind them. But this time, the sound lingered. That evening, as Lena wiped down the last table, she thought about how small the moment had been. A simple gesture. A few signs. Nothing extraordinary on the surface. And yet, it had changed something. Not just for them. For her too. For the first time in a long while, silence didn't feel like something to hide inside. It felt like something that could connect people in ways words never could.